welcome everybody. I am Ball Python Love BPL, and I got a special guest tonight, Mr. DMJ himself. I'm going to let him introduce himself, as you guys should all know who he is. Chino, go for it, and if you'd like to introduce yourself, bro.
What's going on, everyone? Chino, DMJ, Reptiles. Just I don't know. Just a fat guy who likes his reptiles.
Right on, man. That is awesome. So, thank you, Sherry, for showing up. Everybody, if you guys haven't already, smack that like button, share this shit out. You know, I truly appreciate it. But let's start with the first question if you're ready. What's up, Cold Blooded? So, let's talk about the Craigslist ball python deal gone bad. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, can't forget.
What was going through your head? Because I actually bought. What's up, Troy? I actually bought a banana inchi and found out it was actually caramel albino. So I mean, I was stoked, but I was it's not what I was really going for. But what was going through your mind during that part?
Well, it's like the whole backstory of all that was like, I found them, and it was too cold to ship, and that's understanding. Like I've always been like even to this day, like we have a fundraiser. I donate an animal, but I'm not shipping it. It's not happening. We gotta wait till it's warm. I'm in upstate New York. We were warm today. It was 41 degrees. So yeah, it's not worth it to me to risk the life of something that I produced. So when he said that he didn't want to ship, that was fine, and it started with just a female fire banana. All right, I think that's what it was. And then it kind of like bundled, right? Because I'm a bundler, right? When I buy a snake, if I buy a snake, I may buy 5. Like you get a better deal when you buy a bunch. So it started with that. And I said, well, what else do you have? And I don't know if he did research on me or not, but he was like, oh, I got a pastel double head hypopie female. And I'm like,
just really quick to prove out, none of them were female at all.
No. We did get 2 females of the 4.
Okay.
Hey, Sherry. So then that was that. And then he was like, so we talked. And I was like, well, what's your passion in ball pythons? And he said, oh, well, I really like blackhead. Right. So he's like, I got the last 2. If you throw, you want to throw them in on your order. So now it turned into like a $500 animal to, an $800 in animals to $1,500 in it. You know what I mean? So the price just keeps on going up. And I was just like, okay. And then like, are you going to ship? So now it's like spring. I'm like, are you going to ship? Are you going to ship? Oh, I'm not really comfortable yet. And okay. And, they finally ship, and like it's the first thing you do, especially with a banana. We're going back a couple years now, and it's like you don't see too much female bananas. I mean, even now, there's a lot of male maker bananas out there, and you still don't see a lot of female bananas out there. So I, pop that snake and fucking male, and I went ape shit. I'll admit it. I'm a very nice guy, but I can get angry very fast. And I did. I was fired up, and it was horrible. I had my little girl there with me, and I'm like, that's not even like, that's the edited version that I put out there. That isn't even really what happened. Like, that wasn't even everything. Like, it was like, okay, that happened. So then now it's like, okay, well, now we know that the snake was unsexed, right? And then, now comes into question, okay, well, what's up with this double het? Pastel double het clown hypo female. Is that legit? And then we get to the blackheads, and of course the first blackhead I pop is a male. So then that's when I was like, wow, like it was rough, but I should have known by now, like, I bought snakes from like the top breeders and people that, have a laundry list of first evers and 20 plus years of experience. So one of my mentors has over almost 40 years experience, like,
Yeah.
and then I'm buying I'm getting the deal on Craigslist, and
Man, Craigslist is a whole nother thing. I will never do another Craigslist order from anybody, to be honest, locally. After that one, it kind of, I was like, yeah, no. I'm either I'm buying from breeders or, someone that I know personally here that knows what they're breeding and what they're doing.
Well, I feel like that comes after time, like people are learn from their mistakes, right? A lot of people have to learn their own mistakes too. Like I can
Correct.
say what happened, and every people can be like, oh, oh, that's a bummer. I'm not gonna, but not all of them. They're gonna go on Craigslist later on and say, oh, well, I wonder what's on Craigslist, and then they're gonna say, oh shit, you know. It's just it's what happens, unfortunately. But I learned my lesson, I mean, and then you get into these situations where you buy an animal. So now I have that pastel clown double het, right? Not pastel, the pastel double het VIP.
What's
I
up,
have
VIP?
the pastel double het pied hypo. So a I bred a pastel double het pied hypo, and I didn't hit anything. Um, Now the babies don't look they didn't look like they didn't look like there wasn't any ringers, there was just nothing. They look more orange dream, to be honest with you. So I did
Hmm.
hold back one of those babies, and like I have plenty of holdbacks that are double heads in the pastel
Okay.
pie project. That's a morph that doesn't get better with age. But that pastel that female I got actually looks a lot nicer. So I'm pretty confident that this guy bought this pastel orange dream and said, bought a pastel and ends up being orange dream, sees the tracks on it and goes, "Oh man, has to be pied, right?" And
Yeah.
found a sucker on Craigslist, and I happen to be that guy. But it was bittersweet. So the butter blackhead ended up being a butter blackhead red gene, as well as the pastel blackhead is also a red gene. So I ended up getting an extra gene out of the whole ordeal, and it is what it is. I rehomed that banana to a good home. It ended up being just a regular banana male. Um, and I'm good, man. I'm not buying stuff like that
No, that,
anymore.
that's good. That's good. So, what are some of your projects you have been working on now? And
So my largest project is the clown hypo, clown orange ghost. 2 years ago, I did invest into a female maker banana desert ghost het pied.
okay,
Um, and he's doing his rounds. Last year, unfortunately, only two females dropped for me. One of them slugged out, and the other one, I lucked out. I hit two cinnamon banana 100% het desert ghost possible het pieds, and they both have massive ringers on them. And they're female. And then I also hit the 4% odds, so I hit a pied. And that's what I wanted. I wanted that female. I wanted that banana pie. Like I've been dying to make a banana pie for years. And I hate it, and I was all pissed off. I did the cutting with Dave Kelly, Baller's Garage, and he was
okay.
like, "Chino, don't be upset." He's like, "That's a man. That's a female. You're gonna hit the odds on that. That's a female." And that guy was right, man. It was a freaking female. So that project is growing. Um, and then little things like the what is it? The Orange Ghost Pie project.
Yeah.
Last year I lucked out. I had slug outs and not slug outs. I had like absorbing, and I had a clutch in 2008, and then 2019 I didn't get anything, and 2020 I didn't get anything. I'm like, when is this going to happen? Like this girl took 2 years off, in my project, and then last year she gave me a 1.4 or 1.3 pastel. So it's pastel pied, 100% het orange ghost, 50%
Okay.
possible het albino. And it was an early clutch, and I already got 3 locks with him to his mom already, and his mother's sitting at like 2,500 grams. And she's bull wrapping, she's doing all the stuff. I got to hit her with the ultrasound. She's still eating, which is fine. Keep her eating. Give me that bigger clutch. But so this year should be a good year. Hopefully, I can hit multiple double recessives. That's what the plan is.
Nice. Hey, that's a good point. So, I mean, kind of going to plans now. What are your goals for 2022?
2022. I'm not messing around. Last year, I tried to to kind of like what is it? Test my palpating skills, right?
Okay, yeah.
And test behaviors. I lost my job. I was around the animals more often. It was a lot easier to mark and label tubs that the snakes are really cold seeking and try to breed based off of behavior. And I did 30 pairings. I only was at 50%. I only hit 15 clutches. So now I have an ultrasound, which I don't use much, but I'm breeding everything. I got all my females. I got all my males hitting 4 girls, and everything's all monitored. I mean, I'm hoping to get at least 25 clutches this year, but with the pairings I'm doing, I may end up with 50. So this year should be a heavy year, and hopefully I can, hit my 20 holdbacks. I plan on holding back probably about 20 animals, and then selling everything off, and that could be a lot.
Yeah.
That could be 140 snakes.
Yeah. So, how many clutches are you producing with ball pythons? And I'm going to ask you that again, but with another animal. But right now, for the ball pythons, how many clutches, not eggs? So, how many clutches would you say you produce a year?
So I started slow, man.
Hey, I'm starting slow. Don't. That's all good.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not. I mean, I'm a firm believer is I got the best advice from my buddy that owns this company, right? Grip Energy Drink. I said to him, I said, how come you're not, how come you're not New York, and how come you're not, nationwide and all this? And he said, well, you don't want a mushroom. And I don't understand it. And I said, you got to explain to me what that means. He said, well, you're going to have a bunch of mushrooms growing, right? And the mushrooms are all going to grow, a lot of them are going to grow nice and tall and make a nice mushroom head. But then you get those mushrooms that they grow too fast, right? And then what happens? The head's too heavy for the body, so it collapses. So he says, when you're building a business, you don't want it to mushroom because it's going to grow too fast and it's going to tip over. And then that's when you're going to run into issues. So, I mean, my first year I had 3 clutches, second 5, then I hit 8, then I hit 12, then 2 years of 15. And this year I got to beat. So like the biggest disappointment of 2021 is I didn't beat my record. I tied it. Like every year I want to produce more, right?
Right.
I produced higher valued animals, but I don't know. It's like one of those petty things. It's like the numbers game. Like I didn't hit the numbers I wanted to hit. So this year I'm going to make sure that I beat that, and it'll be nice even if I double it.
Sweet. That'd be awesome, man. I really hope so. So, can you give us an update on Junior's first ball python clutch with yourself? It was a semi-lesser spider to a pastel clown. What was? I mean, what'd you guys hit? Because I mean, I couldn't find anything on it.
I didn't post anything. It was so bad. So that was a really cool clutch, right? So I bought. It's funny because I feel guilt. I feel guilty about stuff sometimes, and what happened was that male. I was gonna buy a black pastel, het pied for my friend.
Okay.
But I decided I didn't want to. So instead of buying that one, I bought a pastel clown off him. Even though I already was paying off a pastel clown head hypo male, but I just didn't feel right. I bought the snake from my buddy, my original mentor, right? So I'm like, well, I'm not going to keep 2 pastel clowns. I'll give one to Junior.
Okay.
And then we bred it to a collection I bought that was supposed to be a cinnamon. What was supposed to be cinnamon? Damn it! It was supposed to be something else. It was a cinnamon spider, and it was supposed to be something else, but it didn't. It actually didn't prove out to be that other gene. It ended up being lesser. Um, but it ended up producing hypos, and I was
Oh
like,
no.
holy shit! Yes. So we hit like 4 hypos in that clutch. So then that's when I had to call John and be like, hey John, what was the pairing on that pastel clown? I hit hypo. And he's like, you pair it to a hypo? I was like, this is the craziest thing of all. It wasn't even fucking paired to a hypo. It was paired to, cinnamon lesser bee. And he was like, well, that snake was 50% possible het hypo, and it's also 50% possible het TSK. So
Nice.
yeah, he proved out, and we sold almost all the offspring. We're holding back the male because I had a little bit of a disaster. We missed the tub with an adult ASF in when my pastel clown had hypo.
Okay.
And we missed the tub. And one day I hear, 2 days later after feeding, I hear scratching, and the ASF actually killed the snake. And when I open the tub, I see a dead snake with holes all over it, and I see an ASF all fat smiling at me. So I worked out a deal with Junior that I'm taking back the pastel clown. And I paid him off pretty much, and he's keeping so we hit a super pastel cinnamon spider hypo.
That sucks.
100% het clown out of the clutch. So he's going to hold that back, and that's going to be his new breeder. When it grows out, he's got a few snakes, but he's happy regardless. And I mean, everything that we do, these group. So the deal is he'll get 25% off of all the offspring, where when we do these group deals, he gets 50, we go 50-50. So he does really well. I mean, for a 12-year-old kid, I think his best day out of an expo, he had a $500 day. And if I got a $10 day out of my father, I would have been happy when I was a kid. So
right on, man. Sorry for the snake though, man. That sucks. But
Party!
what is your favorite morph? Sorry, threw me off.
It's so hard to bring it down.
There's not one
like
that you
combos.
want more than. Oh, even if it's
I would say like I still sticking to my clown hypo. I do like Desert Ghost Clown though. Desert Ghost Clown is just remarkable. I mean, it's just such an amazing animal.
Okay.
Yeah, we look, Bad Blood in the house.
What's up, Bad Blood? Porters. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh man, all my people are here. Mike's in here. What's up, guys? I jumped in on the DG clown. I decided to I got 2 locks with the female maker Banana Desert Ghost Het Pied with my pastel clown Het hypo. So we're gonna go with the double and then the double possible. But we will. I still need to focus on the Desert Ghost Pied because I'm that close to, I have to build my army of females. I go a little crazy on like projects that I focus on. So like Clown Hypo, I'm probably up to about 30 females in that project. Nice. And they're not possible. They're either visual het or double head or visual het. So when I do hit them, I'm going to be hitting a lot of them. you know, and then that's better. You know, I have more selection of what I want to hold back. Um, and I'm just building right now. Desert Ghost. I lucked out when I bought that Desert Ghost. It was when the market right before it skyrocketed. So I actually got it for like really good price. It was still a lot of money, but you know, the breeder that I got it from breaks my balls because he's like, you know, if I would have waited 1 year, I could have sold that male for $4,000. And I'm just like, that's why you're my hero, bud. um, but yeah, I'm trying to build that army of het desert ghosts so that I can put dad back to them. And you know,
Okay.
super banana desert ghost pied sound pretty awesome to me. So that's or cinnamon super banana desert ghost pied. I mean, there's a lot of combos that we'll be working into that. But right now, I'm just trying to make these 100%. You know, preferably pied het desert ghosts.
Okay. So next question, and this one I feel like is a good one, especially for everyone watching right now. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, share, all that shit, please. So question is, when will we see you live again or content? When is that gonna start dropping again, man?
What's going on, Z?
What's up, Dylan?
So I did a quick live stream a few days ago or a week ago. I needed to take a break. Like it gets overwhelming. Um, family can be overwhelming, and animals can get. I mean, we. I don't like to talk numbers, but even just species. Like we're breeding like 15 different, more than that, probably close to 20 different species.
Yeah.
Um, it gets crazy, you know. And then last year, my son's grades were so bad, and I just wanted to, Then I have a son with autism.
Correct.
I have my daughter. So focusing on my family and kind of like spending the energy, it was kind of like I spent more energy with the reptile company than the family. So then I said, you know what? I'm gonna go opposite for a little bit. I'm gonna spend more time focusing on the family, and then I'll find a balance between the two, you know? So, these January, I'm gonna start January. I'm hoping, um, within the next week, I'll be able to start getting videos up. If anybody does YouTube, you know that, like, when you post a video, you can keep it unlisted. Um, I'm not gonna go as crazy as before, doing 1 live stream a week and 2 videos. I did a video every Wednesday and Saturday, and then a live stream every Friday. It was just too much.
Okay.
Um, I plan on getting a lot of videos on the unlisted, ready to upload and go live with, and I'll be putting out 1 video a week. So I'm gonna try to do minimum 52
Okay.
videos next year, and I may do a live stream every once a month, maybe. I want to do a live stream next week, but I just, last year's the Circle of Jerks, the Christmas special, was
Okay.
fun, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just get everybody in to roast each other again and have fun and make fun of each other, and because we have so many personalities out there.
Yeah.
It would be fun, but at the same time, like I said, I think I want to focus on videos, and I'm going to be putting out content. I miss the content. I'm getting mentored now by my brother. My brother has been doing very well with YouTube for a very long time. Um, One of his channels has 185,000 followers. Um, he does well for himself with YouTube, and I'd like to move forward and take his advice and take the YouTube channel to another level.
That's good shit, man. I mean, that's a really good goal to have, and we need more though. We need more of Chino putting out videos.
It's true.
People need that.
Yeah, and I'm going to, it's. I think the big thing is when I was doing these videos, I was like doing so many cuts, So then when you
Okay.
piece it all together in a video, it's tough, man. You put out 2 videos a week and you're spending 2.5, 3 hours editing, you know, it's 6 hours of your life. And then that's just that's editing, and then you got to post it early. You got to make sure that because you want to get it up earlier, it's not going to be in HD when it's posted, and
Well,
stupid shit like that pisses me off.
so as for me, my content, like it's either live streams and I do live feeding videos. So when I do a live feeding video, it takes me like 2 minutes to like actually really edit my video because I don't cut any. If I say it during the video, I say it. It is what it is.
Yeah,
But because I do custom my videos and my live feedings, so just to give everyone a heads up. But like I don't edit anything out of it. All I do is add like YouTube to it, and that's about it. And then yeah,
yeah,
I don't try. I
exactly.
don't do all
It's
that extra.
filming time, and then my stuff. It's not like I have a studio. I do all these videos right in my living room, so I got to put
Yeah,
a banner up. We got to get the lights up. It's a pain, but now thankfully with technology, like I got my DJI that's a low light. It thrives in low light, and even just recording with my phone. It shoots good in low light. So we're there'll be videos, especially with the clutches coming, and I think that's like the big thing. Like I really I just fell off. Like no one even knows how many clutches. Where years ago everyone knew exactly what was going on with their collection.
yeah. So who is somebody that you would, because you said you were probably thinking about going like live once a month again once you started it. If you do that, who is somebody that you personally haven't interviewed that you would love to interview?
Um, Brian Gundy. So you
He
just
was
had him.
yeah, he was my
Yeah.
last guest. I was gonna say Brian Gundy, shout out the legend.
Brian Gundy is definitely up there. These balls and exotics. He's another dude that I would love to have on. Josh Jackie.
Dylan would be
Um,
cool.
there's quite a few. I wouldn't mind getting um who is it? Brian Barchek. Just to pick his brain. Um, just because as much as people hate the guy, he is one of
I
the
love
one of the founding fathers of our industry, and
yep.
in that alone, he has my respect. Um,
Yep.
Dave Kaufman. I met him in person. Dave was a really genuine dude. And I'd love to get Brian Cusco back on. Brian Cusco is funny because we kind of like, we clicked, and then come to find out that he's a half white, half Filipino like myself.
I
And I was
actually
like,
have him
no
coming up.
freaking way. He's a cool dude. He's a cool
Yeah,
dude, and great dude.
it'll be round two.
Not yeah, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. He's always a big supporter of the fundraisers I do.
Right on.
Yeah. But we'll see.
I
Because I said, I want to. I need to creep into it. I also, there's so many people doing live streams right now. It's like
like
I
so this Sunday I got Brian Cusco
nice.
again. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, Brian Cusco. I mean, Brian Gundy is the Bob Ross of ball pythons. He is. You watch him when he goes when those live streams he does of him herping. He's like, oh, look at this beautiful neck snake.
I
The beautiful
know. Yes.
colors. I
But
want Dave Hardy back on. Actually, Dave Hardy, I'll tell you a quick story about that guy.
okay.
That ducking guy.
That
He's the creator of all of this. He is his mind and everything. It all started with him being on my live stream, and it was during all the USARC stuff. And he said, Chino, figure out a way to put an animal up and get some money for donations for USARC. And then like that live stream is what started everything because I like that night we raised like almost $6,000 off of just starting with one snake. It was just everybody who jumped in was like, oh, I'll do this, do this, do this. I mean, I think we gave away like $3,000 worth of store credit between 6 breeders.
Okay.
There was just so much crazy stuff going on, and it was all because of Dave. I mean, Dave came up with this. I forgot what snake it was, but he was like, "Why don't we just see what happens? We'll put this snake up, and I don't know if you want to do a live auction, you want to do this." And I was like, "Oh well." That's when the whole like the standard, right? Because now it's like a
Okay.
standard. Like everyone does the fundraisers, and it's always like $5 for a spot, spin to win. Um, and it all started because of the one snake that Hardy said, and then Hardy put up a snake, and then I put up a snake, and then he put up two more, and then I put up two more, and then other people are throwing in stuff. I mean, it was that live stream. I actually got to go back and watch it just because it was madness. And then it just progressed to my wife tasing me and like crazy shit. But great. We helped out two great families. You know, we
Okay.
two was it two or three? We helped out some families. We helped out USARC. I mean, we a lot of good happened, and I think it was really good for the community as well because our community
That's good.
was having rough times. You know, there was like bad shit happening in the community, and you know, just showed how strong we are that everybody kind of worked together to make something awesome happen.
That is awesome, man. So I don't have this question actually written down, but I do have a question just off the top of my head because you kind of said it a little bit earlier. How's it feel to be instead of the host? How's it on the other side?
Well, it's nice. I mean, you know, there's it's cool to be in, because then I feel like I'm not talking so much. um, I enjoy it. You know, I obviously you can see I can talk. I mean,
That
that's why I got this. I love this Bluetooth I have because this Bluetooth it has two headphones. So when one dies, I just pop the other one in. Um, and I all day our days are busy, right? So we start our day where we left off. So the Bluetooth's in my ear, and I got cousins and brothers, and I got random people call me, and you know I always answer my phone. That's like a big part of I think what got me to where I am. I mean, I have no problem helping people. I have no problem giving advice. Someone doesn't have to buy something from me for advice. I do, Hardy. I do. Uh, there's my guy right there. Troy is the
Troy,
best. I love that
I
guy.
yeah, he was a. My first interview with him was amazing, dude. I can't wait for round two to come up, and I got some exciting shit to ask him now next time.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. Yeah, those are my peeps. Hardy, Troy, Max, Porter, all four of them right there, back to back.
Right.
Yeah, you know, it's you got to help people, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's how it all started. I mean, when I go to expos, I don't look. Yeah, of course you want to make money, but um,
Let's
it's
not get
more
into
of
expos just yet. Let's not get into just a little, because I mean, you might say it, and then like I gotta erase that question off
uh-oh.
the.
All right. So then I'll just stop. See, I'm talking now.
No, you're good. You're good. So change. The next question was you breed your ASFs, your rats, your mice, your dubia. I mean, how many? I don't know Spanish. um, how many would you litters of each one? Because I know you're selected. I last time I found out you had what 9 things of rats and
No, I have rats. I have 31 colonies of rats,
whew,
5 grow out bins.
was it
Um,
9 in the ASS with the medals with the medal bin?
I have 36 bins. So now with the ASFs, we kind of switched it around. I'm up to I have 13 bins of mice and then 13 13 bins of mice and then 23 bins of ASFs. Yeah, it's a lot of breeders. So we produce a lot of rodents. I mean, I snakes don't go hungry in my house.
That's
Snakes,
good.
and we got other the tegus. Will get a treat once in a while. The bearded, even my bearded dragon, like you know, it's so awesome to throw a hopper in his tank and just watch him run around and chase after it. So we feed a lot, and then I also feed other people's collections as well.
Okay.
So we're actually going to expand, and I'm going to add another 6 colony. Oh, I'm going to add another 5 colonies and one more grow out bin. So we'll be up to 42 cement tubs and 36 the stainless steel tubs.
Okay. So for your next one, who you kind of touched on it, but who was your mentor?
My original mentor, it was definitely John from Snake Man's Exotics.
Okay.
So I went to the White Plains show, and I used to go there when I was a kid. That was like my spot. But we moved back to Westchester, and we always drive by and we always see the big billboard, Reptile Expo, Reptile Expo. And finally, I was like, "Fuck it, we're gonna go." We went and we bought 2 pastels, a boy and a girl, because we were gonna make a super pastel. And then I met John the next expo, and I told him, I'm really interested in it. Back then, that was like in 2015, 2014, I want to say. And
Okay.
to talk about like the evolution of the reptile world since then, like, I mean, back then you'd go to a table and the guy would be like all into like helping you. And then as soon as they felt like they weren't going to get that sale, they were pretty much like turn around and just talk to the person next to them. Like they didn't give a fuck about you. It's come a long way. And John was not that person. John, we became friends. We spent hours on the phone. He gave me ideas. He gave me, advice on starting a company, because it went from a hobby that I can make money to something that I could essentially pass down to my children.
Correct.
Um,
So
and he's been there for me even till this day. I mean, I talk to John at least, once a month.
so talking about the kids, or go ahead and finish, and then I'll
And
ask
then
the question.
I would say the next mentor would be Doug Matusak, Bowl Basement.
Okay.
Um, Doug is Doug's been breeding reptiles for over 40 years. He is like, I think he produced the first clown hypo. He produced the first um, clown exanthic. Like he
Okay.
hit all these things in like 2000, in like late 2000s. Um, he is a great guy. He can tell you from everything from what his projects are, what he's looking. I mean, he's one of those guys. Like he's up there with Barcheck trying to make the purple snake. Everyone's on this mission to produce a purple snake, and he's on board with that. He said he's actually closer to doing it with a boa than with the ball python.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, right, a big mentor to me now is Vinny Meyer, VIP Morphs. Local guy. He's the one that really brought my rodent breeding to another level.
Okay.
And what I like about Vinny Meyer is Vinny Meyer. He has grown his collection the same way I have grown my collection. Just he's 6 years ahead of me, or 8 years ahead of me, maybe. Um, it's all about holdbacks, right? I mean, it's not everybody can go out and spend all this money on snakes, and it takes years before you can do that. Not everybody can, year one, year two, they're not buying $5,000 snakes. It takes you hit years 8, 9, 10. Now it's like, okay, I'm producing 50 to 100 grand worth of snakes. Now I can say, okay, I'm going to reinvest 10 grand into this male and take this project from here and bring it up there.
Yeah.
But those are
So
the three.
we're okay. So you know, anyone that doesn't know the DMJ, right?
Yeah.
David, Mario, Jenny, Reptiles. Okay. So I actually have my youngest son isn't too much into the snakes, right? He kind of does his own thing. As for my oldest son, he actually started his own YouTube channel, and it's Ball Python Love Jr. so like I love how my son gets involved. Like I wish my younger one would a little bit more, but it like for me the moment the feeling I get from it is just unexplainable. It's the love that I have for the reptiles. It's the love, of course, I have for my kids. Um, to see my oldest, want to follow in my footsteps doing this, that just blows my mind. So can I ask you, how's it feel to have all three on board, and how do you feel?
That's bullshit. Not all three are on board.
No, yes,
one
but
is on
they're
board.
involved. They're involved.
Junior's,
your daughter did cut some eggs, right? She's cut some eggs.
She loves cutting eggs, but
it still helps, right?
it's awesome that she's involved with that, but she still hasn't cleaned the snake tub, or she hasn't stepped in and said, "Oh, let me fill bottle caps for feeding geckos." But she'll be on the January 20th. She'll be 8, so that's when I'm going to start kind of having her be more involved.
Okay.
And then Mario's going to start getting involved because Mario wants money. So when he's already seeing that Junior puts in a lot of this effort, and oh shit, and he gets rewarded for it. So it's going to happen to them.
Okay. So I got to ask the one question I told you before we started the live stream. There was one question that was not even reptile related. You're a Yankees fan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. I grew up 15 minutes from Yankee Stadium.
Is 2022 the year of the Yankees, or what's going on over there?
No, they got time. They got time. I think 2022 is going to be the year of the Mets.
Really? That'd be nice to see.
Yeah, they're man, I'm having a brain fart. They got some good candidates to be their manager. I really like. I can't believe I can't remember his name. He was last in Baltimore. He's looking to be the manager, and they're signing, and they're spending the money. And I think it looks good for the Mets. I think it'll be nice for a National League win for a title in New York. But the Yankees, I don't know. I was hoping they get rid of Boone. If they would have got rid of Boone, I would have felt a lot better.
I'm not a huge fan of Judge. Aaron Judge. Is that his name?
The fucking
I'm not a fan.
How?
He's the
nicest guy ever.
I don't know, man. It's not that he could be the nicest guy, but when it comes to playing time, like he's good, but like
he gets injured.
99 ain't as good as Jeter or any of the real legends that have played the game. Sorry, but he will be. It's just I feel like it's too early for him yet.
He's young, man. I mean, you got all these these young players and personalities, and I think the biggest issue with the Yankees right now is they go unorthodox with these coaches. Boone should have been fired. They shouldn't have brought back Boone. They bring back these legends that did really good. Just because you're a great batter, it doesn't mean you're going to be a great batting coach. They went down that road, and same thing with pitching. So it could be a good year, but I'm not going to hold my breath about it. But it is what it is.
Okay. So here's something I hope everyone laughs a little bit in the chat. And Chino, don't take this any disrespect, but I got to know the true ending of a video of yours, and it's a short. Do you remember a video of yours called a preview of a fat guy spraying Yellow Jacket Hive? How did that shit really end? Because all I saw was ow, and then you smacked your hand or your shoulder or something, and then the camera was like, and then it just repeated. I was like, what really fucking happened? Like what
that
happened?
Was a total shit show, that video. I'm at work and I get a call from my wife saying that the neighbor can call an exterminator, but under the kids' bus stop was a basketball size nest. So you know, I don't know. Me and my father were always like the neighborhood yellow jacket killers. What's going on, Gray? So what happened was I get home from work, I set up my GoPro, and the GoPro's facing, and I'm spraying, and nothing's happening. I'm like, these motherfuckers aren't going out. I'm spraying the hole in the bottom like you're supposed to. So then I get the genius idea of, let me pull my truck up and grab a piece of bamboo, because my father's house is like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like the whole side is all fucking bamboo plant trees. So then that's when I got the good idea to poke it standing on top of the pickup. And when I did that, all hell broke loose. Come to find out, they weren't yellow jackets. They were pied face hornets, which are one of the most aggressive hornets of the hornet family in the States.
Okay.
They were so aggressive that they were not just attacking me aggressively. I think I got about 20 bee stings that night. But they were actually attacking the camera. Like there was no light, there was no nothing, and they were attacking the camera, which was fucking crazy. So I have the video saved in a hard drive somewhere, but they were literally like swarming the fucking camera, smashing against the lens.
Will we ever get to see that full video?
I don't know. I probably have about 20 terabytes of video recorded. It's so hard to even go back and be like, let me find this video. I guess I can try to go by date, but it was funny, man. It was like, you know what? Like, and then the title was a hit, fat guy versus, hornet nest. I should try to, with my son, I should give him all the hard drives. My son's in quarantine right now. He tested positive for COVID on Thursday.
Oh,
so
sorry to hear that.
He's just champ. I mean, he had a fever for 24 hours, and he's loving life. He's playing video games. He's in his room playing video games. He's comes out, puts a mask on, goes to the bathroom. He has his own bathroom to use, and he's in his bedroom, and
Right on. You're welcome, Sherry. I didn't know you weren't blue. You've been here for a while. Sorry. If anyone knows, if you stick around, I'll make you blue. I see a lot of guys on here, though. I make blue right away because I know who they are. So, like to see. Here's a question for you. This is something, me personally, I really think like you do a great job at. And I saw that, of course, you like to transform the exoturs into amazing homes for your animals. Like, what started that for you? Like, was there something you were like, I'm doing this?
What's his Serpa Design? I think is his name. Yeah, Serpa Design.
Okay.
He does the most amazing bioactives. So I went on a bioactive kick until it killed my gecko production, because I'll produce over 300 crested geckos a year, and I put everybody into bioactives, and I dropped right down to 120 one year. So I actually only have I only have bioactives for my morning geckos and my tokays. That's about it now. I retired the bioactives because they're carnivorous, so they eat their babies. So, but yeah, Serpa Design. The tanks that this guy makes are incredible. I mean, he does all types of crazy stuff, and I mean bioactives for all different species.
Okay.
So caught wind of it, and I enjoyed it.
Right on. So I told you we would touch a little bit about the expo. I did ask, kind of similar to Best Dressed Balls Troy, what is your personal best feeling setting up an expo? Like when you're setting up at the expo, what is the greatest feeling or moment that you get taking from it? I understand, like at the end of the day, it's a little bit about money. You got to make ends meet. I get that. But besides that, like, what is something that you take from it where you're like, wow, that was I'll never forget this moment, or I'll never forget that person, or
It's meeting people, you know. You get to meet cool people. Last expo, I was smoking a cigar in the back loading dock, and a car drives by, and I go, "That was fucking Ozzy."
that was
And
fucking
then all
Ozzy.
and then all of a sudden, Ozzy's in front of my table, and I'm like, "Holy shit, what's up, Ozzy?" He's like, "Hey, man, how are you?"
No, right on.
That was kind of cool, and it's I have the most fun just having fun with the people there. Um, like I know I'm gonna have a good show if the person next to me has a little toddler behind their table, because then at least I have someone else that's has a short, attention span during the show and having a good time and being around people that are having fun. Sometimes you get around people that are like tight asses, like during the show, it's like so serious. And, I mean, the big thing about the show is like, yeah, the money, you always want to make as much money as it costs for you to do the show. Right. Um, but it's more of like meeting people and educating people and helping people and, hearing the success story after of someone getting an animal and was totally lost on what kind of setup. And, they come to you for advice and they get back to you 6 months later and be like, look at the snake, how much it's grown. And, it's eating great and my temperatures are great. My humidity is good and shit like that. That's like the rewarding part of the expo is kind of like meeting people. And our favorite part is handing out stickers. We love handing out stickers. We have a whole setup when we see little kids come by. I think my favorite part is when you hand a family stickers for their children and all of a sudden they stick a sticker on their kid's shirt. And now the kid's walking around with your logo on their shirt. That's always fun with the expos.
Right on. That's kick ass. So we do got about like 7 minutes left. So we got a couple more questions to ask you, and then we will end it. So I'm trying to pick out a really good one because I still have questions I didn't even get to ask you, which was totally fun. Here you go. We'll end it on this one. And I usually always end it on this one, but if you could, I don't even need to look at the question. What is something you could leave behind positively? Something positive, right? Somebody that is watching this either now, probably not now, because let's just be honest, a lot of the guys that show up breed. Maybe someone 10 years down the road, 5 years, 3 years down the road. What is something you could leave behind for somebody new getting into the hobby, regardless if they're trying to become a breeder, a hobbyist, just loving reptiles? What is something positive you could leave behind?
Well, don't bite more than you can chew, and it's not a race, it's a marathon. No matter what, it's going to be a marathon. Everybody wants to buy breeders right off the bat. You don't need to do, you're going to learn that lesson later on that you're going to have to hold back shit. You're going to have to wait 3 to 4 years for that female to, 2 to 4 years for a female to breed, or, you buy a male and it's breeder size and it's decides it doesn't want to breed this year. It's not ready yet. It
Yeah,
hasn't figured it out. So I would say that it's not a race, it's a marathon. It's probably the best advice I can give someone because too many people come in it and they see what people are producing and automatically it's like a big competition, and it's not about that. It should be about you doing what you love to do, because when you're stuck cleaning 200 shitty tubs or cleaning, 72 colonies of rodents, um it's got to be about your passion, right? Because that's the
yeah,
type of shit that will make you walk away from it. And,
very
you
true.
essentially could waste a lot of money and a lot of time.
Very true. Well, Chino, don't leave, please. I'm going to end it though. And then I'm going to thank you behind the stage, of course, again. But everybody that's tuned in tonight, if you haven't already, smack that like button, share the shit out. And yeah, and like the video tonight, because that would be really appreciated. Until next time, I am Ball Python Love. I did give away one guest, but the guests after that are going to be, I mean, just as amazing as tonight and yesterday and tomorrow. It doesn't matter past, present, future. We're going to keep rolling with this. And until next time, peace, everybody.